The story begins with Rinku Suryavanshi being chased by her family goons at Siwan Junction Railway Station as she tries to elope with her long-term boyfriend. She is caught and beaten by her grandmother Dulhaing, who orders her to wed any bachelor to get Rinku off her hands. The following day, Rinku's aunt gives her drugged kheer, which is meant for Rinku's parents' death anniversary. Udharan Chennai. S. Venkatesh Vishwanath, Vishu. Higher. A Tamilian doctor briefly visiting with his friend Madhusudan, MS. A psychiatrist gets kidnapped and drugged by Rinku's uncles who were actually aiming for MS. And the two are forcefully married. They travel to New Delhi by train, where they learn that both of them oppose the marriage and already have lovers. Vishu will be engaged to his friend Mandakini, Mandy, in 2 days. And Rinku's boyfriend, performing artist and magician Sajjad Ali Khan, will reach Delhi in a week. The two stay for a day in a hostel where Vishu lives, and there Rinku tells Vishu how her parents were immolated to death as a result of Dulhaing's conspiracy. The two reach Madurai for Vishu's wedding, but Mandy sees a trending video showing their forced marriage, thus calling off the wedding. In the drama that ensues, Vishu angrily berates Mandy's father for misbehaving with Rinku and leaves. Udharan. Angry and sad, Vishu returns to Delhi with Rinku and realizes he loves her. However, Sajjad has arrived, and Rinku runs off to meet him. Vishu sends MS to see that Rinku leaves safely. In a twist, it is revealed that Sajjad is imaginary and Rinku is mentally ill, talking and eloping with someone who is not there. Bewildered by this, MS speculates that Sajjad may be someone from Rinku's childhood. And Rinku's growing love for Vishu creates guilt in her because she has loved Sajjad for years. And if she loves Vishu, Sajjad will have no scope to exist. He runs to Vishu, who is in the operation theatre, and tells him about Sajjad. They leave to find Rinku. Vishu meets Rinku on a train and manages to stop her by saying that he needs to file for a divorce. Before leaving, Vishu then hastily concludes that the love story Rinku told him could be about her parents. Udharan. Vishu and MS devise a plan to medicate Rinku and attempt to drive Sajjad away, as MS feels that the more Rinku will become fine, the more Sajjad will become ill. One day, a drunk Rinku kisses Vishu on the cheek and Sajjad sees this. The latter tells Rinku to ask Vishu what sets him apart. Vishu, in retaliation, starts to break bottles on his head and is taken to the emergency room. As an apology, Sajjad confesses that he will make the Taj Mahal disappear for him. Vishu and his friends gather people, and just when he is about to do so, MS gives Rinku her medicine and she sees that Sajjad's magic trick has failed. At night, she asks Vishu why everyone was clapping even though the Taj Mahal didn't disappear. Frustrated, Vishu confesses his love for Rinku, telling her that she is his wife and he is supposed to stand by her. Udharan. Sajjad feels threatened by Rinku's love for Vishu and attempts suicide. MS and Vishu, being doctors, take Sajjad to operate on him. MS tells Vishu to consider letting Rinku know that Sajjad died on the operating table, but Vishu disagrees. The next day, while filing divorce, Rinku refuses, saying she wants both Sajjad and Vishu. Vishu takes her to the Delhi Junction railway station to meet Sajjad, who is going to Japan for a show, as she can see Sajjad where she intends to. He also says that he will wait for her at the station until evening, so she should elope with Sajjad or change her mind and return to him. Udharan. At the station, Rinku spots Sajjad with a little girl who he says is Rinku herself when she was a child. He says that she must go to Vishu, her soulmate, and that this time, he will no longer return. At this point, Rinku breaks down remembering her childhood. Eventually, it is revealed through a flashback that Sajjad is a real person who, in fact, is her father. He had run away with her mother Manjari, married and had Rinku. However, the Suryavanshis filed a case and Sajjad was arrested. Rinku and Manjari were forcefully brought back home. Sajjad was released from jail and started performing in the circus. Manjari often secretly attended his shows with Rinku and they spent time together. Udharan. One day, just before Sajjad's fireworking performance, the Suryavanshis replaced the artificial fuel with real fuel, which immolates Sajjad. Among the audience, Manjari realizes that Sajjad is burning and runs to him to save him. But both die together in the flames in front of little Rinku. This shapes up her paracosm with Sajjad all the way into adulthood. A fact that Vishu and MS had already realized, causing them to play along. This ends when Sajjad disappears and Rinku runs back to Vishu, who was distributing sweets to others telling that his wife has returned. The two finally reconcile and it is shown in parallel that Vishu is carrying Rinku, just like Sajjad would carry a young Rinku. Udharan.